The Soviet-Afghan War forced one of the world's most powerful armies to adapt armor designed for European plains to the mountains of the Hindu Kush. For 10 years, Soviet tanks fought in a war they were never built for. This video documents every single tank system deployed by the Soviet 40th Army and the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan between 1979 and 1989. If you want to see the complete breakdown, hit subscribe. Let's begin with the workhorses. T-55A, the backbone of convoy operations. Considered the most produced tank in history, this machine served as the primary escort vehicle for Soviet supply columns. It featured a simple V-55 diesel engine, tolerant of Afghanistan's dust and thin mountain air, allowing it to operate where newer tanks failed. While its 100mm gun could only elevate to 18 degrees, leaving it blind to ambushes on high ridges, it provided unmatched reliability and became the defensive anchor of Soviet firebase positions. T-55AD with Drozd Active Protection System. The world's first operational tank with hard-kill active protection. Equipped with the complex 1030M Drozd system, this experimental variant used millimeter-wave radar to detect incoming RPGs and fired fragmentation rockets to destroy them mid-flight. It featured 8 107mm launchers mounted on the turret, achieving an 80% interception rate against frontal threats. While revolutionary, the system created a lethal blast zone that forced infantry to stay 30 meters away, isolating the tank from combined arms support. Tu-55 Flamethrower tank. The terror weapon of the green zones. This specialized variant replaced its coaxial machine gun with an ATO-200 flame projector, capable of shooting fire 200 meters into cave entrances and irrigation tunnels. It featured 460 liters of napalm mix stored in converted bow fuel tanks. While losing ammunition capacity for its main gun, it provided the only effective method of clearing fortified tunnel complexes where conventional explosives couldn't reach, consuming oxygen and incinerating defenders deep underground. Next on the list are the main battle tanks. Unlike the versatile T-55, these machines were designed specifically for frontal combat and underwent the most radical field modifications of the entire war. T-62 base model. The standard tank of the Soviet intervention. Armed with the 115mm U-5TS smoothbore gun, this machine served as the primary offensive weapon for the 40th Army's tank regiments. It featured an automatic shell ejection system that expelled spent casings through a rear turret hatch. But in dusty conditions, this mechanism frequently jammed, breaking the NBC seal and allowing gases or small arms fire into the crew compartment. While effective against mud brick fortifications with its heavy, high-explosive shells, it suffered catastrophic losses to RPG-7s until field modifications arrived. T-62M Afghan Modernization. The visual icon of Soviet armor in Afghanistan, this upgraded variant added BDD composite bra armor to the turret cheeks, horseshoe-shaped blocks filled with polyurethane that disrupted shaped charge warheads. It featured reinforced belly armor against Italian TC-6 anti-tank mines, the Volna fire control system with laser rangefinder, and the Naima 1117 Bastion gun-launched missile for standoff engagements. While heavier and more complex, it provided the protection needed to survive the RPG-saturated battlespace and became the standard from 1983 onward, with its distinctive turret armor becoming synonymous with the Soviet presence. T-62D with Drozd APS, the rarest variant in theater. Similar to the T-55AD, a small number of T-62s received the Drozd Active Protection System for combat trials. It featured the same radar-guided interception system but on the more modern T-62 chassis. While documentation remained scarce, these vehicles tested the concept of reactive defense systems under fire, laying groundwork for future Russian APS development in Chechnya and Syria. Next are the reconnaissance platforms. Unlike the heavy main battle tanks, these machines were designed specifically for mobility across water obstacles and soft terrain. PT-76, the swimming scout of the border regions. Originally designed for European river crossings, this light tank served in reconnaissance battalions near the Amu Darya and Helmand marshlands. It featured water-jet propulsion for amphibious operations and exceptionally low ground pressure of just 0.5 kg COS and CM2, allowing it to traverse rice paddies and mud that bogged down 36-ton T-55s. While its 76.2mm gun provided adequate firepower for scouting missions, its maximum 14mm armor offered zero protection against RPGs or even heavy machine guns, restricting it to rear area security where direct contact with Mujahideen was unlikely. Next are the legacy systems. These machines weren't fielded by Soviet forces but played a critical role in the hands of their Afghan allies and, eventually, their enemies. T-34-85, the World War II legend in its final combat deployment. Supplied to Afghanistan in 1957 as military aid, this obsolete tank served with the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan forces during the Herat Uprising of 1979. It featured the iconic 85mm gun and sloped armor that had defeated the Wehrmacht, but by 1979 was thoroughly outclassed. While effective as a static pillbox when buried hull down at air bases like Bagram and Shindand, mechanical breakdowns and fuel shortages plagued operations. Ahmad Shah Massoud's forces captured several and used them as improvised artillery in the Panjshir Valley before abandoning them when the vintage V2 engines seized. Next on the list are the combat engineering vehicles. These machines weren't designed to fight enemy armor. They were built to keep Soviet convoys moving through the most heavily mined war zone on Earth. T-55, T-62 with KMT Mine Rollers, the convoy's sacrificial shield. Standard T-55s and T-62s fitted with KMT-5 or KMT-7 heavy steel roller assemblies, pushed ahead of the tracks to detonate pressure mines. These vehicles always led convoy columns through suspected minefields. While the rollers absorbed the blast, protecting the tank, repeated detonations frequently damaged the roller mechanism itself, requiring field repairs under fire. BMR-2, mine-clearing vehicle, the dedicated minebreaker. Built on the T-54 chassis, this specialized vehicle featured a massively reinforced belly armor and integral mine rollers designed to withstand multiple anti-tank mine blasts. It served as the pathfinder for major convoy operations along the Ring Road, methodically clearing routes that would have been impassable for standard tanks. BTS-4, Armored Recovery Vehicle. The battlefield ambulance for broken armor. Based on the T-54 chassis with the turret removed, this recovery vehicle featured a 12-ton winch, rigid tow bar, and snorkel for deep wading. It operated under fire to drag disabled T-62Ms out of kill zones after mine strikes or track damage, often becoming the most critical vehicle in a convoy when tanks were immobilized in ambush sites. IMR-2, Heavy Engineering Vehicle. The late war upgrade. Based on the more modern T-72 chassis, this improved engineering vehicle featured an updated crane system and enhanced armor protection. It arrived in limited numbers during the final years of the war, providing superior mobility and protection for engineering operations in contested areas. MT-55 Bridge Layer, the Gap Crosser. This specialized vehicle carried a 16-meter scissor bridge mounted on the T-55 chassis, deployable in minutes to span destroyed culverts and small ravines. While rarely documented in Afghanistan due to the limited river crossing operations, it supported Soviet advances in areas where Mujahideen had destroyed permanent bridges.